Hello everyone, and welcome to another tutorial for BioSE1A. This tutorial is about understanding the structure of the plasma membrane. In this question, assuming you don't know anything about the structure of the cell membrane, you treated cells with urea and ethyl urea. And you found that ethyl urea penetrates the membrane better. If you look at the structure of the two molecules, the two are very similar, except that ethyl urea has an extra ethyl, making it less polar. So you can conclude that the less polar molecules can pass more easily through the membrane. And when you treated the cells with diethylurea, which is even less polar than ethylurea, you found that it penetrates the membrane more readily. This confirms that the less polar molecules can pass more easily through the membrane. This observation provides evidence that the polarity of the molecule affects its permeability through biological membranes. Of course, now you know that the plasma membrane contains phospholipids that are amphipathic. The hydrophobic tails line up together, forming the core of the membrane, while the polar phosphate heads face outward. Because a molecule would have to travel across the hydrophobic core of the membrane, it makes sense that the less polar the molecule, the easier it can pass. In the second part of the question, what would you conclude if you perform the following experiment? You extract some proteins from the plasma membrane using a polar solution like 1 molar sodium chloride, but you found that other proteins are extracted when you use an organic solvent or a detergent. So what would you conclude about the structure of the cell membrane? This observation provides evidence that there are two categories of two membrane proteins. One is peripheral membrane proteins. These proteins are interacting with the phospholipid head groups and could be disrupted easily using sodium chloride. The other category is integral membrane proteins. These proteins are spanning the hydrophobic core of the membrane. So these integral proteins will need an organic solvent or a detergent to be liberated from the hydrophobic core of the membrane. Sodium chloride alone won't do it. This concludes this tutorial. Thank you for listening and good luck.